And hello everyone, welcome back. BogMod here. We've just had some very big revelations about Alphen. One of the most interesting is that he is the Sovereign, and that he is, quite conceivably, more than 300 years old. So apparently he is the king of the Renans, but not really. Hello. Recognize. Beef. Can let death around me to get where I am now, but with the slave on my way to this place. Hello, Dohalim.
You're certainly full of surprises, aren't you?
Trust me, it's not intentional.
Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Though, there's still an awful lot I wish I could understand. Every new piece of information seems only to yield further mysteries. The truth feels just as elusive as when we first started. I am well aware of where you got your powers. But why, as a Danon, do you bear the same crest as the current Renan Sovereign? More to the point, why choose a Danon for their Sovereign in the first place?
Maybe Renans can't handle the power either.
And then there is the Maiden, a figure so powerful, she's playing yin to the Sovereign's yang in esoteric ceremonies. And yet, I'd never even heard of her. Then again, this all occurred 300 years ago. What if the term Sovereign doesn't even hold the same meaning
Oh,
as it
Alphen's
did back
upset
then?
about his thinking about things.
Listen, I may be a traitor among my people, but I am still Renan, born and raised. I learned the same history, listened rapt to the same tales. And yet now I feel like there was little truth to any of it.
Speaking of which, there's something else that I remember from the spirit channeling ceremony. It used the Renis Alma.
You're certain?
Yes. Or at least that's what they called it. Only you would know if it was one and the same.
Oh, I have never laid eyes on the real artifact myself. And you never participated in a crown contest. You're not even Renan. Many mysteries lay buried in these 3 centuries past.
3 centuries is more than several lifetimes. Was I really out that long?
Well, I'm only estimating based on historical record. But all the facts would seem to point that way.
Who the hell am I?
If I may be frank, we have even bigger fish to fry than that. By comparison, the far more important question at hand is, just what does it all mean?
Frank, huh?
Sometimes, we need a little help in addressing the truth behind our pain. Not to compete over lives lost, but I suspect your count is still somewhat beneath mine.
Thanks for lending me an ear. And sorry for being a bother.
Please, no thanks are necessary.
I'm not so worried about either of their kill
Get back on
counts,
your
given
feet.
the
Sooner
situations.
We can all get back out there.
One taking the credit for a traitor working behind him, and the other for when he was fighting back against horrible monsters. It's hard to evaluate this. Blame it the same way as the guys like Balsef or
Zoogles.
whatever.
Strays by the looks of it. We unwittingly disturbed their territory on our way here, and now they're looking pretty riled up. So, feel like you're making headway? You know, sorting through things?
All I know is Shion needs our help. As for what happens after that...
Say, how did you get back down here from Lenegis anyway?
I came down in a Renan starship. I have Naori to thank for that.
What happened to her? Did she come with you?
She stayed behind. Just as I wanted to get back to Dana and my people, Naori's place was with her fellow Renans, performing her duties as the Maiden. Neither of us asked for the power or roles we were given. I suppose we felt a kinship with each other in that sense. But even then...
Wait, so you mean it wasn't just Danons like you that Lenegis abducted? You're saying they forced Naori, one of their own, to serve against her will as well?
Even within Renan society itself, there exists a hierarchy. I don't think she was ever given the option to refuse. Despite that, She did everything she possibly could to serve her people. The very same ones I ended up slaughtering. And even after that, she still helped me escape back to Dana. She stayed behind on Lenegis to help any of her people who survived. I owe her more than words can express. A debt left to fester for what? 300 years? How do I even begin to make up for something like that?
I don't know that you owe them anything.
You can't atone for what's happened in the past. I don't think anyone can. Be it several centuries ago, or just yesterday.
What are you saying? That I might as well give up?
I'm saying you don't have to be a white knight in shining armor.
More
Back
of a
after my brother had passed
black or
away,
gray knight.
it was you who told me that his dream lived on inside me. And you did the same for him, for Dohalim, when he was ready to give up too. You were there for both of us. You know what I heard? I heard you telling me to keep fighting. To strive no matter what.
Then I was out of line. I had no right to ask that of you.
No, you're wrong. Those words were exactly what I needed to hear at the time. In fact, I would go as far as to say that I wouldn't even be here had I not heard them.
Oh, this is
Left
his
my own devices,
self-doubt moment, I
Who
suppose.
knows when I would have been able to pick myself up? Besides, it's not like killing all those people was a choice that you made of your own free will, right? The truly terrible ones are the people who abducted you.
Kisara,
The ones who forced you to wield
I
that
knew
power.
there was a reason.
They're the ones you should be
liked you.
blaming.
You were
Not
great.
only that, but
You're
that guilt you feel
one of the best
inside,
NPCs I've ever
that's all
encountered.
the proof you need to know you're a good person, Alphen. Do you understand? If I'm still allowed to fight and keep on living, then damn it, Alphen, so the hell are you.
That
But
was good.
If you're still not convinced, then ask yourself this. What is it that you've really been fighting for this whole time? Go on, ask yourself.
What I've been fighting for, huh?
Yeah, no. She's good. I like what Kisara does her speeches. Little shipwreck. Can't find Mahavar. Oh, that's too bad. He was
All
alright.
this time, I thought it was the worrying about Shion and the pain bringing you down. I didn't realize you were lonely too.
I guess all of us are. In one way or another.
Yeah, but you've only just found out. I mean, no, not found out. Remembered.
To tell you the truth, I was actually beginning to forget I'd even lost my memory in the first place. Now that it's returned, well...
I
can
still
see
have
what I'm like.
questions.
It's strange. When I think about Lenegis, it still feels like it was only a year or two ago that I was there. But then I realized what feels like years was actually centuries ago.
What about your hometown? Do you know if it's still there?
I doubt it. When the Renans invaded, the world as I knew it changed overnight. Even if the place is still there physically, I expect the people will be long gone. Certainly everyone I knew, at least. My family. My friends.
Maybe we can find your great
I
nephew.
know how that feels.
He'll be an old scientist, maybe.
I have no home to return to either. No family waiting for me. I used to curse my bad luck that I'd ever been born a mage in the first place. Otherwise, if I hadn't, maybe my mother and father would still be alive today.
Oh,
Although if that had been the case, I guess I'd probably still be just another slave with no means to resist.
quite possible.
I'd never have met up with you guys, that's for sure.
Have you learned to embrace your powers yet?
I don't know. You might have ended up like Law.
I
And got your
resent them a
parents
little
killed.
less than before, though. They've kept me alive this long, right? I try not to think about it too much. After all, who can predict what the future will hold? I guess what I'm trying to say is that with everything that's happened in your past, finding out you're the sovereign and all, it's no wonder you're conflicted. Heck, honestly, I think anyone would be.
Rinwell.
First it was Shion, then it was me, and now it's you. All of us suffering, just because of some power we never even asked for.
Yeah. All this time, you were suffering right in front of me, and I never even knew. I feel like I finally understand what you and Shion were going through.
You couldn't have known. Still, if you want to make it up to her, shouldn't we hurry it up and rescue her already? Poor Shion must be lonely, all by herself wherever she is.
Yeah, that makes me wonder a bit,
right.
actually.
Let's get going.
I mean, obviously, it's a very common trope about, like, the whole, no, revenge is bad, yada, 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 right? But in real life, we don't have, at least for most of us, these sorts of situations where you have someone who's like, yes, I killed your parents because I was doing evil medical experiments on them. And I've killed hundreds of the people you knew. And then, you know, the person gets a chance to kill the person who did all those things, and were they, like, racked by guilt ever? Is that what usually happens? Especially if they're, you know, soldiers who kill countless others anyways. No doctors. That ain't good. Doctors are good. Ooh, if you're just eating fish, buddy, you're definitely going to be getting scurvy. No, they got fields. Good, good, good. Pelagion. An evil castle of evil, no doubt. Oh, now I can run. Let's check the inn. The ultimate core. Okay, so that's the inn. We'll check the other room then. Outsiders. Hello, Law.
Alvin, are we gonna go rescue Shion or what? What's gotten into you, man? Aren't you worried about her?
Do I even have any right to be?
If you were in my place, you'd say, to hell with all that. What do you want to do?
Sounds like me. Pretending I have all the answers is kind of my forte.
Come on, man, snap out of it. This isn't like you. Look, I get it. You finally remember your past, only to feel like you've lost yourself again. You're in shock, and who wouldn't be? Worse
That's kind of the
still,
point,
you
though.
blame
He's
yourself for
in
what
shock.
happened.
He can't just be
Yeah,
like,
I don't
oh, no,
agree.
I'm going to forget my trauma
That
now.
doesn't mean I don't understand either. But here's the thing. None of that's got anything to do with Shion.
I guess.
It's about Naori, isn't it? Look, you're still here, aren't you? Who's to say this chick isn't alive and kicking out there somewhere, too?
That's a decent point.
Fine, I've said my piece. The thing is, though, where does this leave Shion?
My power consumed me once already. I left behind a path of fire and destruction. And the same thing could happen again. I can't guarantee anyone's safety, including Shion's.
So you think we might get burned up because of your sovereign powers? I can think of worse ways to go. Come on, fight this thing! What happened to the guy who talked to me after my dad died? The one who cared enough to reach out and save me. That's the guy I was proud to follow. Not this faltering imposter who's taken his place.
Law.
No, I'm serious. What's gotten into you, man? Just give me the word and I'll beat some sense into you if that's what it takes. Now, I'm gonna ask you this once and only once. Are you serious about rescuing Xion or not? What's it gonna be, Alphen?
What do you think? Of course I want to rescue her. Hell, I'd do it right now if I could.
So then quit griping and do it already!
Oh, emotional speech.
Listen, you're probably right about all this.
Alphen.
It's exactly like you said. Whatever happened in my past has nothing to do with Xion. But there's still so much that There I go again. So much for the inspiring Alphen of old.
He could be a pain sometimes. Besides, even a hero has to let the cracks show once in a while, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just give me a little more time to fill in the cracks.
He's really
Thanks,
worked out
Law.
about
Hey, don't
killing
even
the
mention it.
people who tortured and
Totally got
abused
this,
him for
Alphen.
who knows how
I
long.
believe in you.
Murdered countless of his own kind. Who did who knows what
Back to
else.
the inn, I guess.
Like, the context would be a little different if it was like, he had a terrible power and they were trying to keep it sealed away from things or whatnot. Rather than, oh, no, they kidnapped him. They constantly threatened and abused him. They would have kept killing more and more of his people until they got what they wanted. Until one day he was able to stop them. It's one of those weird kind of setups.
Alphen! There you are!
What is it?
Zeugles, that's what! They're almost at the village gates!
Any closer and they'll be house hunting. I knew we shouldn't have cut through their territory.
That sounds bad.
Can you fight? No shame in bowing out if you're not up for it.
Kisara's right. You don't want to go overdoing it.
I'm up for it.
Really?
You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. It's now or never, right?
Alphen, right! Great to have you back! Now let's
Nothing
do
like the threat of horrible monsters eating everyone's faces. To get you back in the mood. Bumbling fighter extraordinaire. Ooh, point max AG. Having been given a place and purpose in life, Law swears to fight together with Alphen. To do what must be done, clumsy though he can be. There we go. The all-pulverizing hammer. Such as the hammer, shoots smash, bash, and thrash her enemies. Okay. I just had a
Look
thought,
sharp,
actually.
people. If we don't act fast, they're going to get into the village.
Right. We need to hurry.
I'm in good form. I'll
Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to try and, if I'm right, I need to swap to Law and have Law use a total of 700 leg strike moves. It's just Whirlwind Snap. Over and over and over again.
Crush any enemy with my mace.
Awesome! We've got an avatar of destruction here!
Truly.
Zugos!
She leaves naught but rubble in her wake.
Are you guys asking to be her next target?
These are compliments. I think a badass warrior would like her would be like, ooh, an avatar of destruction, you say. Alright, so everyone's deeply afraid. Hey, hey, I'm a monkey.
Remember, if the pain's too much,
We've all got our own pain to deal with. I'm done letting others pick up my slack.
Here they come.
My 30 minutes of trauma are over.
We can't let even a single.
Alright, someone swap to you, Law.
Fine by me. Let's get to work then. I'll tear you apart! Bet that shell's hiding something dangerous. I'll tear you apart! The enemy will ours too. It's almost too strong. Then I'll split it open! Be my guest. Easy small to me. Yeah, and probably I'll run you through! I'll tear you up! Whirlwind Slash! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life! Be still! I'll tear you apart! Watch this! I'll tear you apart! Whirlwind Snap!
Ready to go. Make it rain.
Yay, we killed the monsters.
Alphen, you okay?
I'm fine. This pain thing really hurts, huh?
But hey, at least you're still alive.
It wouldn't be called pain if it was pleasant. It can be pretty useful, though. It's good motivation to improve and get stronger.
I need to put,
Guess I've got a lot of room to improve in that regard.
Anyway, I'm glad we could protect the village.
Dohalim into the
Especially
party.
after everything they've done for us.
Kasari, you're gonna have to be swapped out. Dohalim, you'll have to be swapped in.
Yeah.
you know, this Salim kind of reminds me of home. The people here have hidden themselves away out of the fear of being found, always watching their backs. Though in the end, home was destroyed anyway.
That won't happen here.
Oh? Is that a hint of fighting spirit I sense?
Yeah,
Well, I do have phenomenal cosmic powers. In theory.
I won't lie. Some of these memories will take a while to process. But I've learned something too. My rage, this fury I feel at our so-called rulers, it comes from having so much of myself stripped away from me back then.
There we go. An explanation for the hate you were ranting on about at times.
Friends, family, home. They took everything from me and left me with nothing but guilt. I was completely alone. At least that's what I thought. But not anymore. Since I awakened, I've met people who I care about. Friends who hold me up. Friends who make me feel like I'm worth something.
No, this is just one
I
game.
won't lose
So they can't really put in the time.
again. I'll
Doesn't matter
protect those bones
before.
with everything I have. That's why
I think
teach
Reen
you
did
fighting.
trauma a little better in the end.
But Shion comes first.
Of course.
I'm talking about
First we
my
rescue
playthroughs
Shion,
of
then we
Tales,
defeat BogMod and
Trails of
liberate
Cold
Dana.
Steel, the pro tag from that one.
Everyone, will you fight with me?
Say the word and I'm there.
Certainly no objections.
Then it's agreed. Our next stop will be the capital, Pelegion. According to the villagers, there's a huge cliff separating Thistleum from the capital. Luckily for us, there's a path we can use to climb up.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
We don't know what lies ahead. We should prepare well before we venture forth.
Yeah, can't exactly fight at the top of your game when you're hungry.
Good point. Let's stop by the inn and plan our next move from there.
Sounds good to me.
By the way, how is Mahavar doing?
He's missing. We learned this already.
Wait. Don't tell me we still haven't found him.
It's not like we haven't been looking. I've covered the whole length and breadth of the coast, but
All of the other crew members are accounted for, including us. But we weren't able to find Mahavar. He's still missing.
I see.
Perhaps he couldn't bring himself to abandon the ship.
You mean at the bottom of the ocean? Damn it.
We don't know that it sank. We all washed up on the same shore. If the ship went down, isn't it strange we haven't come across a single piece of debris?
I thought they said
Do you
lots
think
is
he might
washing
still
up.
be alive somewhere out there?
I think stranger things have happened. Whether he's alive or otherwise, we've exhausted all the avenues available to us. All we can do now is press on ahead.
I think we
Fine.
can survive.
Let's get going.
We'll find out, though, I suppose. Alright, let's take a little break then now. We'll come back to continue on shortly. See you all soon.